This is Mr. Payton. Welcome back to my new series called Competition. In the first one, we talked about being a fan. That means just being supportive of your friends when they're trying to accomplish goals. This time in talking about competition, I'm going to go to the most obvious place. Let's talk about sports. Whenever I used to train as an athlete, I was always pushing myself towards a certain goal. I would say I need to get up a certain amount of shots, get in a certain amount of miles in each week, work out a certain amount. When I got to each level, I realized I had to lift my level of expectations. So I know a lot of times people wonder, like, how do I know if I'm working out hard enough? How do I know if I'm doing the best that I can? Obviously, you can listen to your body and pay attention to that. But even that is being competitive. That means you're pushing yourself. You're competing with yourself, pushing yourself to the highest limit. The other thing you have to do, though, is this is where you do introduce an opponent. Sometimes an opponent is just watching other people who are your peers train. It's watching people who are above where you're at. So if you're in high school, watching college athletes. If you're in college, watching pro athletes. If you're a little kid, watching middle school athletes. And other times, it's just looking for different workouts to push yourself. The point is that the competition is in the ability for you to push yourself and give your maximum effort. As you get older and you progress in competition, it will become trying to be the most efficient as you possibly can. Let me give you an example. I'll hear kids sometimes say, yeah, I practice all the time. So, well, what do you do? Well, I go to the park and I throw the ball around, or I'll run and work on routes. Well, who's out there with you? Well, I'm just doing it by myself. Okay, that's not bad on his face. But what I'll really ask him is that when you went to the park, what did you plan on working on? Well, I don't know. I like football, so I'm working on being a football player. Well, what position do you play? Well, I'm a wide receiver. I want to work on catching the ball. Well, how can you work on catching the ball if nobody throws it to you? And so that's where things get difficult. You have to have some people to help you. That goes back to what I said in the last video. You do need fans. You need support. You need helpers, people to support you in your dream and your goal. That is part of competition. Anybody who's ever played team sports knows you don't win games by yourself. You win with your teammates. Those of you who participate in solo sports like swimming and golf and tennis, depending on if you're playing doubles or not, you still need a team of people who train you, who work on your swing, who work on your backhand, people who work on you with your strokes, on your start, all of that. Competition is not a solitary effort. Competition requires a team. Competition requires thought. And it requires a group of people who have your best interests at heart. So if you are a competitor, whether it's in sports, in your academics, or just in life, get a good team around you. And as you find yourself moving forward, you'll see that your team will encourage you. They'll give you new goals, and you'll come up with goals on your own. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want you to think that competition is a bad thing, but I do think we need to reevaluate how we look at competition. I hope you like this video. I hope you're subscribing to my channel. I hope to continue to bring you wonderful content. Have a wonderful day.